When I first started working with network gear, one of my biggest challenges was knowing what was connected to what and how things were wired and what was on the other side of these ports. And that's not always the easiest thing to get. Yes, you can totally get it from the command line and you can get it from SNMP, but it's a whole lot easier to use tools to find these kinds of things and to do larger discoveries. And I can show you how in Engineer's Toolset. Switchport Mapper is an amazingly simple tool that does an amazingly complex job for you. All you have to do is put in the IP address of your device to map, and optionally a layer 3 device, or if you have something that is a collapsed environment, like you have layer 2 and layer 3 on the same device, just check this box, put in an SNMP community string, and hit map ports. It's going through, it's pulling all of the interface tables, it's pulling all the ARP tables, and then it builds everything. For instance, Gigabit 2/11 is connected to a SAN on their A port on the management side using this MAC address, this IP, and this DNS name. The beauty of this tool is the simplicity in which you work with it, even though it's doing all this complex work for you on the backside. Because if anyone's had to trace down an IP address by hand, you connect to the switch, you get the interface list, you get the ARP table, you get the MAC addresses, you compare them, then you jump to the next switch and you lather, rinse, repeat until you get to the end. This is just a whole lot simpler. The Switchport Mapper tool really is one of my favorites, and it requires you to know a couple things: the SNMP community information and some IPs of devices. Sometimes you don't have that information, and that's where something like the MAC address discovery tool can actually find that for you. So all you have to do here is put in a specific subnet and hit discover MAC addresses. This will sweep the entire subnet, pull back the MAC address at the far side, optionally do a reverse DNS to give you the names of these devices, and if it can look it up, let you know who actually makes the card. This is actually very, very helpful if you need to find that one device on your network that is from this particular vendor. Now, let's say you found one of those devices on your network and you're not really sure what it is. One of the ways to find out is actually to scan all the TCP and UDP ports on it. And let's be serious, that can be a pain. So the port scanner just does all that work for you. Just put in the IP address or load a range from a file, select the port range, either defined or just the first 1024 like most scans do, and hit scan. In a few short moments, it'll be done. And then for me, I like to sort by port status. All right, it only has port 22 open. That either means it's probably a router or possibly some type of Linux machine. Quick and easy. And I just showed you 3 of the many tools that are available in Engineer's Toolset for understanding and working with your network infrastructure.